Hello everybody and welcome to another Tech Minute video. My name is Tom from 6 Foot Networks and it is super bright out here. I wanted to touch briefly on cloud-based backups. I know I've done a few videos in the past, but I've never really gone into them. I'm not going to do anything technical, but suffice it to say that the rule of thumb is to have at least one, if not two, offsite backups. Now this is not a written rule that says this is how you have to do backups. But if you want to be safe, and if you follow any of the articles that come through tech magazines and newspapers and whatnot, then you would have heard about the OVH data center fire that took out, thousands of websites, servers, services, client data, and everything. And it took it out just like that. Boom, gone, everything. Now, with that in mind, my recommendation will always be to have at least two offsite, independent, copies of your data, or production if you're doing cloud-based workflows. But how do you go about that? Well, there's a whole bunch of softwares out there that will natively do cloud-based backups. One of them is called CrashPlan. Now, I've used CrashPlan for, I believe almost a decade, and have never had a problem. I've restored from them tons of times, and it works. And it's it's $9 per computer per month, or 10, I think now it is. But either way, that's a small price to pay for the safekeeping of your data far away. I think CrashPlan's servers are in Atlanta, if I'm right, and that is pretty geographically, located far away, geographically independent, that if something happened to the state of California, where we are, my data won't be lost. So that's number one. Now, number two, I use Backblaze. So Backblaze is a similar cloud-based provider that does also offer cloud-based storage for business. Now, they have personal plans, and you can check out their websites, but each one of these services is a little different from one another. The first one, CrashPlan, they give you a software package that you install on your system, on your Mac, PC. I think they even have a Linux version. And that agent then manages the backups. It'll essentially take the data off your computer and send it over to an encrypted container in CrashPlan's data center. It's made by a company called Code 42 Software, and you can check it out at crashplan.com. But to kind of go to that second point that I made about the OVH data center fire, I would recommend a second place as well. It doesn't have to be the same, but it must include the same data set. So if you're dealing with an agent-based backup like CrashPlan, or you can use the agent-based backup that Backblaze has, I opted for cloud storage. Now, what does that mean? Well, cloud storage is essentially you sign on with a provider and they give you X amount of space to use in the cloud. It's like a hard drive that's attached to your computer, except you're essentially renting space. I guess that's one way to look at it. Now, I took it another step further where I signed on with a company called OpenDrive, which is a strict cloud-based storage provider. No agent for backups. They do have a synchronization tool that allows you to synchronize your local system to their instance, but it's not a true version management, pruning, all that stuff. It doesn't have that. But that's okay, because sometimes all you need is a place to put your data. So if you're using OpenDrive for, if you're using it like you would a USB hard drive where it's just on your desktop and you just drag stuff in there, it copies it off to the cloud and your data is essentially in that spot. And then at the same time, any data that's still on your computer gets written to CrashPlan, gets written to Backblaze. So you can see that I now have 3 offsite cloud instances of the same exact data set. So any single one of those systems can fail or disintegrate. And all of this stuff is literally less than, I think, $75 a month combined. So it's not a bad deal, and I think for 75 bucks to store business data, in fact, OpenDrive, I believe, is unlimited storage. And Backblaze, I think they charge a per gigabyte fee, which is similar to AWS's, Amazon's Web Services pricing model, but less. It actually is less, but it's bucket-based, so it's similar. You get costs for retrieving data and costs for putting it there, but that can be your last resort. Backblaze can be your oh my god, everything else failed, this is my last resort, and then you have to pay for it. So that's just something to keep in mind. This is a pretty long tech minute. I didn't want to get too much into details with it in terms of technical stuff, because some of it is mind-blowing, but it is relatively easy to set up and manage and maintain and use. So if you do have any questions, please leave them down in the description. We love engaging with our community, and we'll do so moving forward anyway. But if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you really like this video and like to see more of it, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help us out, and it allows us to create more content like this for you. In the meantime, good luck, and thank you for watching.